Locus of control. Deciding what is within your control and what isn't depends largely upon your belief system. The psychology field refers to this as your locus of control. People with an external locus of control believe that their lives depend highly on fate, luck, or destiny. They're more likely to believe whatever's meant to be will be. People with an internal locus of control believe they have complete control over their future. They take full responsibility for their successes and failures in life. They believe they have the ability to control everything from their financial future to their health. Your locus of control will determine how you view your circumstances. Imagine a person who attends a job interview. He possesses the qualifications, education, and experience the company is looking for. But a few days after the interview, he receives a call telling him he didn't get the job. If he has an external locus of control, he'll think, they probably had some overqualified people apply for the position. It wasn't the right job for me anyway. If he has an internal locus of control, he's more likely to think, I must not have done a good job impressing them. I knew I should have redone my resume. I've also got to sharpen my interview skills. Several factors influence your locus of control. Your childhood experiences certainly play a role. If you grew up in a family where hard work was valued, you may lean more toward an internal locus of control, because you'll believe that hard work can pay off. If, however, you grew up with parents who drilled into you things such as, your vote doesn't matter in this world, or no matter what you do, the world will always keep you down, you may have developed an external locus of control. Your experiences throughout life can also influence your locus of control. If you achieve success when you try hard, you'll see that you have a lot of control over the outcome. But if you feel like no matter what you do, things just don't turn out right, you may begin to feel like you have less control. An internal locus of control has often been idealized as the best way to be. Ideas like you can do anything if you just put your mind to it have been valued in many cultures. In fact, people with a high sense of control often make great CEOs because they believe in their ability to make a difference. Doctors like having patients with a strong internal locus of control because they do everything possible to treat and prevent illness. But there are also potential downsides to believing you can control everything. The problem with wasting energy on things you can't control. James wasted a lot of time, energy, and money on trying to change his custody situation even though his repeated court appearances clearly weren't influencing the judge's decision. Although he initially thought that exerting more effort into controlling the situation would reduce his stress, over the long term, his stress increased each time he failed at his attempts to gain more control. His attempts to gain control also negatively impacted his relationship with his daughter. Instead of enjoying their time together and focusing on nurturing their relationship, he grilled her with questions to learn more about what was going on at her mother's house. There are several problems associated with trying to control everything. Trying to maintain complete control leads to increased anxiety. Efforts to manage your anxiety by trying to control everything in your environment will backfire. The more unsuccessful your attempts to control the situation are, the more anxious you'll become. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy as you see that you aren't able to fully control the outcome. Attempting to control everything wastes time and energy. Worrying about things outside of your control wastes mental energy. Wishing circumstances were different, trying to convince people they have to do everything your way. And attempting to prevent anything bad from ever happening is exhausting. It takes energy away from actively problem solving and the issues you do have control over. Being a control freak damages relationships. Telling people what they should do or how to do things right isn't likely to attract many friends. In fact, many who have control issues struggle to get close to people because they don't trust others with any type of responsibility. You'll judge others harshly. If you credit all your success in life to your abilities, you'll criticize people who haven't achieved the same. In fact, people with a high internal locus of control tend to suffer from loneliness because they feel irritable that other people aren't keeping up with their standards. You'll unnecessarily blame yourself for everything. You can't prevent bad things from happening all the time. But, if you think everything is within your control, you'll believe you're directly responsible every time life doesn't go according to your plan. Develop a balanced sense of control. James couldn't move forward until he accepted that he didn't have complete control over the custody situation. Once he was able to recognize this, he could focus on the things he did have control over, like improving his relationship with his daughter. He also wanted to focus on establishing at least a civil relationship with his ex-wife, but to do that, he needed to continue reminding himself that he couldn't control what went on in her home. Clearly, if he recognized any signs that his daughter was being seriously harmed, he could act. But eating ice cream and staying up late didn't rise to the level of danger that would make a judge give him custody. Those who strike the right balance of control recognize how their behaviors can affect their chances of success. But they also identify how external factors, such as being in the right place at the right time, can play a role. Researchers found that these people have a bi-locus of control, as opposed to a complete internal or external locus of control. To achieve this balance in your own life, be willing to examine your beliefs about what you truly can control and what you can't. Take notice of times when you've devoted too much energy to people and circumstances that you just couldn't change. Remind yourself that there's a lot you can't control. You can host a good party, but you can't control whether people have fun. You can give your child tools to be successful, but you can't make your child be a good student. You can do your best at your job, but you can't force your boss to recognize your work. You can sell a great product, but you can't dictate who buys it. You may be the smartest person in the room, but you can't control whether people choose to follow your advice. You can nag, beg, and make threats, but you can't force your spouse to behave differently. You can have the most positive attitude in the world, but it can't make a terminal diagnosis disappear. You can control how much you take care of yourself, but you can't always prevent illness. You can control what you're doing, but you can't control your competitor. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.